Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. I'm your DJ and host, Sam Wilson Jr., and I'm here to bring you the history genre of black music: gospel, jazz, blues, old school classic soul, old school hip hop, today's hip hop and R&B, Caribbean, Latin, Afrobeat, Afro-Latina, blue-eyed soul, disco, go-go, line dances, and the Lost 45s. So come with me as I take you on to a trip to the history genre destination of black music. Right now on the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Welcome to the Black Soul Music Experience. I'm Sam Wilson Jr., and I have a special guest on my show, and we are celebrating Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. This lady that I'm about to introduce is a music DJ who performs at different nightclubs, and she's also a music producer and composer. So please help me welcome to the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Ann Yao. Hi, Ann.
Hi,
How are
guys.
you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fine, and you? Welcome to my podcast. Glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
I just want to say congratulations on your graduation at Berkeley College. So
Oh,
I want to say congrats to you.
thank you.
Uh, so I'm very delighted to interview a DJ because I'm a DJ myself, and
Mm.
I once was a radio DJ personality at a radio station in New Rochelle, New York. And during 2012, I reinvented myself as doing DJ gigs, serving the Boogie Down Bronx, New York, and the village of Harlem, which I originally hail from. So I'm very delighted to interview you. So DJ to DJ. So we're going to have a wonderful time. So let us begin, shall we? Now, where were you born?
I was born in Taipei, Taiwan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, were your parents in the music industry or did they have 9 to 5 day jobs?
No, they're not in the music industry. Like they actually, my dad is a lighting designer, and then my mom just kind of helps with that.
Now, which high school did you go to?
I went to Leland High School. That's in Elmenden, in the Bay Area.
That's in California, correct?
Yeah, so I moved here in middle school. So like eighth grade. I grew up in Taipei. I was born and raised in Taipei. And then in eighth grade, our whole family moved to Bay Area, Almaden. And then I went to middle school there, like half of middle school. So it was eighth grade and then high school, all of high school.
Okay. Now, how many years have you been at Berkeley College and what year and month did you graduated?
So I I graduated high school 2020, so I was supposed to be in Berkeley like 2020 fall. But then that was when COVID happened, so I decided to just take a break. So I went back to Taiwan and I spent a year there, and I did an online like half a semester there, and I was like, no, I didn't like it. So then I dropped it, and then I waited all the way till 2021 when like students could actually go on campus and take classes. So that's when I entered. So that's fall 2021, and then I graduated in this past December. So that's 2024.
Well, congratulations on your career endeavors. And like I said, I always like to wish all of the graduates who are graduating and those who have graduated. So we're going to have a wonderful conversation. Now, what was your major if you had attended college or college online?
Oh, so well, I graduated doing electronic music production and design, but it was just funny because like that wasn't my first choice. Like it was kind of interesting because I went into the school thinking that I was going to become a drummer because when we audition for Berkeley, we have to like choose like pick an instrument to play and then you audition with that instrument along with like some of your other projects, but so I went in thinking that I was going to be a drummer. Then I got introduced to EDM, like electronic music and all those like different genres of it, and then I fell in love with it. So the major that I was gonna do was called performance. So I was gonna do that. So I did that for like 1.5 year, and that's when I got introduced to EDM. So I dropped that major and I switched it to EPD, and then I graduated with that.
Okay.
And that's the best decision ever.
Now, who did you want to be when you grow up? I think you mentioned being in the music. Who would you want to be when you grow up?
Oh, I really want to be like Alice in Wonderland, and another one is Martin Garrix. So they both do, Martin Garrix is more like they both DJ and make their own music. Martin Garrix is his music is more like progressive house, like festival like. And then Alice in Wonderland, I really look up to her because she also sings. Like she just does it all. Like she sings her own tracks, she produces, and she also DJs like everything. So if I have to pick between the two, I would say Alice in Wonderland. Also, she's a girl, so that's even I think that's cool.
Oh, because when you said Alice in Wonderland, I said, wait a minute, ain't that the Disney movie? And then later it been redone so many times. I was like, DJ Alice in Wonderland?
It's actually it's not Alice in Wonderland. It's actually the name Allison and then Wonderland. So her name is Allison Wonderland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That yeah. Thanks for correcting me because I would never knew. You know,
Oh
because
no.
with me, I use my DJ name, DJ Cousin Sam Jr. Because most of my cousins on my late father's side of the family, his mother's relatives, they would call me Sam Jr. Come here for a minute, Cousin Sam Jr. You know, so I just got stuck with it. So I said that is my real name, Samuel Wilson Jr. And my late father was Samuel Wilson Sr. So it's like Cal Ripken Jr., Cal Ripken Sr., Martin Luther King Jr., Martin Luther King Sr. So that's always
That's
so
kind of
I
cool.
yeah, it's kind of like that. Now, how old were you when you started playing music or mixing music?
I was actually a classically trained pianist when I was younger. So I would say like elementary school first, maybe even kindergarten, started playing piano. But then mixing music, like production wise, I like everything was probably is mostly after I got into Berkeley.
Now, was being a music producer and being a music DJ your calling?
Yes, I think well once I was introduced to EDM, I knew like it was something that I really loved and I like really wanted to pursue. Like even when I was younger, like in middle school, I was like super into J-pop, like Japanese music. And then I was obsessed with this group called AKB48. I don't know if you heard of it, but it's like a group of young girls. There's a lot of them. There's like probably like more than 50 of those girls, and then they would just sing and dance, and I thought it was so cute and I really liked them. And their music was like uplifting and like very emotional, like has a lot of emotional chords and like a bit of electronic elements to it, and it just made me feel a lot like every time I listened to it. So like looking back at it, I feel like it makes sense because J-pop I feel like J-pop and EDM share some of those like same qualities. And at the time, I didn't know much about music, so I was just like a kid listening to like what felt good. But I've always been drawn to like music with strong melodies and powerful chords and that energetic like rhythmic drive. And that's like very much EDM. So I think EDM naturally just became my calling. And it makes sense like think looking back at like what I liked and loved as a kid. So yeah, I would say yeah, it's a calling.
Okay. Yeah, because I keep hearing the EDM music, many times, and I've interviewed Rachel Delgado earlier on my podcast back in November, and I don't know some of the Japanese music pop groups, but I've been hearing some of the groups, some of the other groups from coming out of Japan, mostly when I see them, whether it's on the MTV VMAs or the Billboard Awards or some other specials that comes on. So I'm getting used to some of the music things, but just getting used to it. As I said earlier in the intro, we do have some Afro Asian artists like Anderson Paak is one of them, and Byron Lee coming out of Jamaica, West Indies. So he's Asian Jamaican, and husband and wife who founded VP Records, um, Randy Chin and Patricia Chin. They're the Asian Jamaican record founders coming out of Jamaica, West Indies. So, as I said earlier, there's a lot of Afro Asians as well as Asian Jamaicans. And yes, some Asian artists that are in jazz as well. So, I'm getting used to some of the J pop sounds. So,
Yeah.
it's going to take a while. So, thanks for educating me on
Oh
that.
yeah.
Now, growing up, who were some of your favorite musicians as well as some of your favorite DJs?
So if I have to pick one, like I said, it was Martin Garrix and Alice in Wonderland. Um, these two are my absolute favorite, but I would still pick Allison over Martin Garrix just a little bit. I love them both so much. But for DJ, I would say I really like Afrojack's style because I think he's like I feel like when you're DJing, you're not really DJing for yourself. You're DJing for the crowd. You're DJing for the people who are like listening to your set. And I feel like he never fails to like give them a good time, like whether or not it's like a festival, like at Ultra or EDC, or it could be just like a one-time thing at a club. Like every time I go to his set, like there's always songs that I can sing to, like sing along so like we know what he was playing and we can sing to it, but then also like he would like mix it with some like sick drops and like every time he just amazed me. So he's my favorite out of all of the DJs. Afrojack.
Okay. And who were your musical influences that had inspired you to play music, as well as DJ influences? You mentioned the two DJs a little bit earlier. So who would you pick, either Allison or the other guy that had influenced you?
Oh, okay. Um, I would do Martin Garrix because I liked him for longer than Alice in Wonderland, and also he was the reason why I started to produce. I just love his song so much. It just makes me feel something like emotions every single time. So, and I when I first like learned how to produce, I would always use his track as my reference track, and I would just try to like reproduce his stuff, like his sound and like his progression or like his chord progression or his structure of the song. Like I would just mark everything down and then try to like duplicate whatever he did. And that actually helped me a lot because it gave me more of a direction of where I was going when it comes to producing. So like I would say Martin Garrix. Love them both though, but Martin Garrix.
Now, during the summer of 2023, you took up an internship at Music Supervisor Inc. And what was it like learning about doing music licensing? And what does a music licensing or music license person do?
Oh yeah, it was definitely a great opportunity to dive into the business side of music, and which I hadn't really spent much time exploring before, but I've always been focused on because I always been focused on like creative stuff, producing, writing, performing. So this internship gave me a totally different perspective, and I learned how important licensing is. And it's not just for getting your music placed in film, TV, or ads, but like it also helped like for protecting your work and making sure you're properly credited and compensated. So it opened my eyes to how many people are involved behind the scenes. So it was really helpful.
And right now, you're doing freelance work for Endless Noise in Los Angeles, California. And are you working to be as a music producer?
Yeah, I'm producing and composing for them. Yeah.
Okay, because I was going to ask you the next question. Are you thinking about composing music as a music composer, conducting, or like some other music composers? When I think of music composers, I think of Tchaikovsky or Beethoven or Amadeus or Johann Sebastian Bach. So, me growing up, I was listening to some of the classical music composers, but during my time, I only had like two guys were influenced by the symphony orchestra, and that was Isaac Hayes and Barry White. so,
Uh-huh.
so are you thinking about doing composing music?
Well, if it's like that kind of composing, then I would say not really, just because I don't have that much of a background doing that. But like, so ultimately, I want to be like an artist doing EDM, like and touring and DJing. So maybe like not that side of music. But I feel like right now I should be open at more things though, because I just started. It doesn't hurt to do anything music related. And also like, if I'm getting paid, then yeah, sure. I'm definitely willing to try.
Now, as a DJ, and you and me, I do DJ gigs. So, during your time as a DJ gig, and how many clubs have you went to, either somewhere in LA, and if so, how many gigs did you do a night, and which clubs have you attended to?
Back in Boston, I played at this club called Han. It's near Boston University, and it's like it's a place for a lot of college students. Like they go to Han a lot, like Thursday night, Friday night. So I played there twice, and it was really fun. And I also played at this bar slash club called Loco Fenway, and that's also near Boston University. It's like a Boston's like a college town, so like most people that came to watch me or like was there when I was DJing, they're all like BU students. And then I've also DJ in Rhode Island at this also a bar slash like club. So when it's like midnight, it turns into a club, and that's called Soul. It's a new one, so I'm not sure if like people are familiar with it. And then I did two gigs in New York, and that's at a bar called I think yeah, it's called Gossip 8. I did it twice, and that was actually my first time ever DJing like in front of people. So that was really fun. And then thank like I was actually really happy about it because I got my first gig 2 days ago here in LA. So I played my first gig, and it wasn't at any like clubs or venues. It was more of a private underground thing at this warehouse. So there's no name for that. Yeah, but it was cool. It's like it's in a warehouse and like two floors. So the first floor they were playing techno, and then second floor it was tech house. Then it turned into like bass house towards the end of the night, and that's where I played.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a question I didn't put down. What was the audience look like? Was it like younger crowd or like mix?
Mm, the one that I played, or like the one that I played like 2 days ago, or you mean when I was
All
in
of the
Boston?
above.
All of the above. Okay. The one in Boston's definitely like college students for sure. It's all like early 20s, I feel. Most like 95% early 20s. And then the one that I played like 2 days ago here in LA, I would say 20 to like early 20s to like late 30s. I was surprised though. I thought there was just gonna be a lot of like kids and stuff, but then no, it's like there are a lot of like adults who are like into like hardcore like EDM and like something more like a little bit more like crazier.
Mm, wow. So, as a DJ myself, as I said earlier, when I once was a radio DJ personality at a small radio station in New Rochelle, New York, and their format was big band and jazz integrated with talk and information. So that was my start at
Mm.
a small radio station, and I did it on the weekends. So I still had my day job at Viacom CBS Paramount, but on Sundays I would do the shift. Not only I was the radio DJ personality, but I once worked behind the board as a radio board operator. So when you have guests coming in to the main studio live, then I will have to operate and control the boards, as well as caller number one, you're on the air. Caller number two, they will take that. But at the same time, well, I try to keep an eye on the meter,
Yeah.
because in radio, you gotta keep an eye on that meter. Don't let it go on the red. So one
Mm.
time, the son of the owner of the station that says, "Hey, aren't you paying close attention to that meter? Look at the meter. Don't make it be in the red." So that was my first big break of being at a real radio station, and I was there as an intern starting from December of 1995, and excuse me, December of 1994, Christmas Eve.
Oh
Yes,
wow.
yes, 1994, December, Christmas Eve. And then I became a regular employee back in August of 95, and I was there until by the end of October. They were making some changes at the station. Computers were moving in, and then the station went 24 hours, and then sadly in 2025 it went out of business. But I keep in touch with some of my radio colleagues and started to reinvent my career. I said, I'm going to reinvent myself as being a music DJ, doing gigs. Now, I didn't have a computer like some of the DJs that I see now bringing in computers. But me growing up back in the day, I see DJs bringing in a crate full of LPs, like two, three, four, five, six crate full of LPs and 45s. Now today, I see everybody bringing computers. So I
Yeah.
said, I'm doing the CD turntables. That saves me the wear and tear, because even though I don't have a car, I still get around. So I got my DJ cart, got my bag of CDs, got my CD turntable, speakers. We're ready to go. So I be at different, not clubs, but I be at community centers, whether it's for the seniors or it's like some family thing or some organization wanting me to play music for the whole family. So if you're like age from 25 to 95, then I gotta pay close attention to the crowd. So if you
Yeah.
want to hear some, like you said earlier, K-pop, or maybe some Adele, or Anderson .Paak, or Bruno Mars, or Michael Jackson, or maybe some of the older crowd want to hear some of the old stuff, whether it's Motown or Stax or Philly International or Caribbean music
Mm.
or Latin music. I kind of like mix it up, so I pay close attention to the crowd. And the last gig I did was back in December of 2024, and it was for the seniors. So I got all the music for the seniors. I got all of the Christmas music, everything. So they love it, love it, love it. They love it so much. I'll say someday they'll call me back, because I have some a bunch full of goodies coming and everything. So I had to put that in there.
Yeah, I think that's so you were DJing like with vinyls?
No, I had some CDs
Oh,
back then.
CDs.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, the CDs, because I'm sure back in the 80s when the LPs were out, CDs were coming.
yeah.
So even though I was thinking about doing a DJ gig back in the 80s with the LPs, but since everything was changing, so I said, I'll take the CDs instead. So that'll save me the wear and tear on my back. So,
Oh. What
but me
about
growing
the
up when I was younger, I've
yeah.
seen DJs got their 45s and LPs. They'd be like mixing here, mixing there, and got their little mixer in the middle, tried to mix things up. I was thinking about that, but I had to fall back for a while, but then reinvent myself, and I had to bring the CD turntables. So it really helped, and not into the computer stuff because I was just really concerned about in case if a computer crashes, and
Yeah.
then they'll be saying like, "Hey, kill the DJ! You killed the music. Where is it?" So it was kind of like that. So
I feel like
I had to bring that up.
I feel like that's harder than for like compared to people using CDJs because like there's so many like stuff on CDJ. Like there's the sync button and now that there's like CDJs 3000, there's also key sync and then there's just like all these like new like effects and functions there are on CDJs that like doing like you said doing the CD turntables or like the vinyl turntables like those are actually harder because I feel like there's the beat match and then there's like the beat like key sync. There's all these stuff that you have to be aware of whereas if you just CDJ they can just switch it up for you. And it's easier too. Like all you have to do is plug in your USB like
Yeah, because that's
so
something I'm working on, but I haven't had any gigs ever since. So, I tell everybody, you want me to get better things, then get me to some gigs so I can get better things, so I can keep up with the times, with some of the youngsters and everyone. They bring in their computers. I just
yeah.
have to get a better product and
Yeah.
everything. So, I'm getting used to it, but somewhere down the line I'll get better things and everything.
Yeah.
Now, while you was playing at the clubs, have you gotten like any song requests? Did any of the people come up to you and say, "Hey, play me some Beyonce" or "Play me some Prince"? Did anybody come up to you for some song requests?
Um No, actually, I don't know. I was gonna say fortunately no, but then I don't think it's fortunately no, but just no because like I had like most of the gigs that I played like I had like a stage, so like they couldn't really come to me and then ask for a song. Or I mean, they could have like put something on their phone and then like raise it up and then it could be like, oh, play this song, play that song. But I have not actually. And also, most of the time that I played, I was opening for other DJs. So I'm just playing I couldn't play anything too crazy for my set because I don't want to burn out the headliner. So I'm just like playing something chill, but like mostly like house music. So they weren't asking for anything because they're probably waiting for the headliner. So they're not coming to see me. Only my friends, only my friends. Yeah.
Okay. Now, here's a question I always ask my guest. Living or dead, which DJ you wish you wanted to meet or have a little battle between the DJs?
Oh, like battle with a DJ, like me and the DJ.
Yeah, it's like saying who can mix the best music
Oh.
to attract the crowd.
Um to okay, I would say Martin Garrix still. I just love him so much. I don't care. I just love him so much. I mean, sorry, she, but like he just He just made me love music even more. Like I just love him. Everything he comes out with, it's so good. I can put it on repeat every day, all day. I used to sleep like while like his set is playing in the back. Like I could fall asleep with his ultra set in the back. It's like festival, like people are like raving and like going like crazy with like the EDM stuff, and then I could sleep to that because I love it. So
Mm.
Martin Garrix all the way.
Oh, okay. Now, here on the Black Soul Music Experience, I always ask my guests who is the favorite R&B black artist of all time. So, and since I have you, we're going to be doing the Black Soul Music Experience Top 10 R&B black artists of all time. Now, here's how it works. We're doing it like a top 10 countdown. Now, before your time, we had a show called America's Top 10, hosted by Casey Kasem. He would start at number 10, which is the bottom five. Who was the best singer but didn't get any recognition? But when we get to the top five, we always ask who was the best singer of all time? Who had the top 10 number one hits? Who had the best album that sold over 1 million copies in print, whether it was a gold or platinum or double platinum or triple platinum, and today's diamond platinum? That artist receive a Grammy Award or an American Music Award or a Soul Train Award or an MTV VMA Award or a BET Award? Did that artist perform on American Bandstand or Soul Train or the Midnight Special or Saturday Night Live? Or did they have their own primetime special on CBS or NBC or ABC? Or did they have that special on PBS during Pledge Month? Or did they have their live concert special airing on HBO or Showtime? So, Ann, since you're the DJ and I'm the DJ, we're going to put to the test. So, are you ready to take the challenge?
Yes.
Okay. Now, who should be at number 10?
Um, on the top of my head, I could think of like four.
Okay.
Um, I would say Stevie Wonder.
Okay, Stevie Wonder, we'll put him there. Singer, songwriter, composer, and he started out at the age of 12 when he signed up with Motown Records, and his first song was Fingertips. And he had some other hits during the 60s, including Uptight, For Once in My Life, My Sharia Moore. And then he got into the 70s. He got into some social issues with some LPs, including Inner Visions, which had the song called Living for the City. It had to do with systemic racism. And another song called Too High. It dealt with drug abuse. And then you have other albums, including Fulfilling This First Finale. He had a song called You Haven't Done Nothing. And another song called Creepin'. It wasn't a hit for him, but it became a hit for the late Luther Vandross. And then his album called Hotter Than July, he dedicated that LP in memory of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And he wrote the song called Happy Birthday. And when I go to the clubs on Friday night, they will play that song. So when you hear that Happy Birthday song, they don't want to hear that old Happy Birthday that we were growing up. We want to hear the Stevie Wonder version. So that's how we do our little parties. And not only that, he participated in USA for Africa, We Are the World, number one hit on Billboard's Hot 100 Pop Singles charts, as well as the R&B Black Singles charts, and participated with Dionne Ward with their song That's What Friends Are For, number one hit on Billboard's R&B Black charts, as well as the Hot Pop Singles charts. And the proceeds went for AIDS research. So Stevie Wonder has done it all, whether he was singing songs with a social message, whether it was dealing with racism or Africa famine relief or AIDS or apartheid in South Africa. Stevie Wonder has done it all. He won an American Music Award, a Grammy, an Oscar, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the class of 1989, and a Kennedy Center honoree for the class of 1999. So, hands down, we'll put Stevie Wonder at number 10. All right, who should be at number 9?
Um, maybe Alicia Keys.
Alicia
I
Keys,
like
who
her
came on
voice
the
so good.
scene back in 2001 with her debut LP, Songs in A Minor, with her debut song, Fallen, and a couple of other songs that follow, including Why Don't You Call Me and A Woman's Worth. And every time when I see her on the MTV VMAs, she would always start off with a classical treatment. I was like, oh, she's giving a little intro and then segue off to the song Fallen. So Alicia Keys, singer, songwriter, activist, philanthropist, mother, Grammy Award winner, American Music Award winner. And when she first hosted the Grammys back in 2019, when I first saw her playing both pianos on one side and one the other, I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
Alicia, done it all. Representing Hell's Kitchen section in the NYC, hands down, we'll put Alicia Keys at number 9. Okay, who should be at number 8?
Number 8. Mm, maybe Prince?
Prince, yes. Royal Badness, Prince. Representing Minneapolis, Minnesota, best known for the Minneapolis sound. He came on the scene in the late 70s. Not only sings, he produces, he writes, he
Yeah.
does all instruments, whether it's on the drums, on the music synthesizer, playing the guitar, you name it. He had a string full of hits, including I Wanna Be Your Lover, and then in the 80s, Purple Rain. His motion picture soundtrack LP sold over 1 million copies in print. His movie Purple Rain grossed over $1 million at the box office. He won an American Music Award, and he was churning out hits during the 80s, including Kiss and also Under the Cherry Moon. When he got into the 90s, things were kind of changing with him when he had to fight with Warner Brothers Records, so he had to change his name from Prince to an unknown symbol. And he kept churning out hits, Diamonds and Pearls and Cream and everything. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the class of 2004. He was continuing bringing out hits, and yes, he was influenced by James Brown, known for spinning and all of his riffs and everything. And I checked out a couple of music videos, including 1999 and I Want to Be Your Lover that I just mentioned earlier. He done it all. So
Yeah,
rest
he's
in
gonna be on
peace.
a list.
Yes, so rest in peace to singer, songwriter, producer Prince. We'll put Prince at number 8. Who should be at number 7?
Uh, I like Missy Elliott. Have you heard of Missy? You definitely.
Yes, Missy Elliott, that I heard, and she'll be best known for her crazy music videos that didn't make any sense. So when she did the song called Super Duper Fly, I Can't Stand the Rain, and I'm looking at the music video, I was like, Missy, what are you doing? It's like you're in these weird outfits, like them big balloons, like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and then she had some visual effects. Like 1 Minute Man, you see the head go meow,
Yeah.
visual effects, special effects. I'm like, she'll be known for all of her music videos that it was like crazy. I mean, real crazy special effects and everything. So, singer, songwriter, producer. She's best known for helping out other artists, including Aaliyah, doing duets with Timbaland and Magoo, and also doing some other things. She represents Portsmouth, Virginia, and she just got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the class of 2024. I mean, she was churning out hits. So even though some of the songs I do like, but when she got to those music videos, I'm like, she freaking me out. So we'll put Missy Misdemeanor Elliott
Mist-
at number 7. Who should be at number 6?
Number 6, um, T-Bone Walker.
Ah, yes, T Bone Walker, one of the blues singers and guitar players. He's not that recognized, but we'll
Wait,
put T Bone Walker at number 6. Who should be at number 5?
number 5. Ooh. Mm, Kanye West. I'm just thinking of
Oh, yeah,
more like
Kanye
modern.
West. Yeah, so he'll be remembered for the song Jesus Walks, but he'll be best remembered for the song Gold Digger, which a duet with Jamie Foxx. So yeah, Kanye West did a few music videos and songs. So when I go to the clubs, the DJ will be playing Gold Digger by Kanye West. She give me money, what I'm in need. So they'll sample that song from the late Ray Charles, I Got a Woman, so that put it into that song. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll put Kanye at number 5. All right, who should be at number 4?
Okay, you mentioned him. I would put James Brown.
Ah, yes, the godfather of soul, Mr. James Brown,
Yes.
hardest working man in show business, made his debut back in 1956 with his debut song called Please, Please, Please. And in the 60s, he had other hits including Prisoner of Love, Papa's Got a Brand New Bag, I Feel Good. And then when he got into the 70s, he made it even funkier with Make It Funky and Doing It to Death and My Thing. And yes, all of the hip hop artists were influenced by James Brown, known for his riffs and all of the cuts and all the music sounds here and there. And as I mentioned, Prince was influenced by James Brown and Michael Jackson too. So James Brown influenced everyone from Michael Jackson to Prince and hip hop. And
Hmm.
yes, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, first one for the class of 1986. Not only that, he appeared in The Blues Brothers, parts 1 and 2, that had Dan Aykroyd and the late John Belushi and Cab Calloway, just to name a few. So we'll put James Brown, the godfather of soul, the late James Brown, at number 4. Who
Okay, so
should be at
there's
number 3?
3 more. I'm trying to think how I should put them. Okay, I would say, ooh, Whitney Houston.
Yes, the Princess of Pop, Whitney Elizabeth Houston, representing East Orange, New Jersey, the daughter of the late Cissy Houston and the cousin of Dionne and Dee Dee Warwick. Whitney made her debut back in 1984 with the late Teddy Pendergrass with the song Hold Me in Your Arms Tonight. And then in 1985, her debut self-titled LP, Whitney Houston, which had hits including You Give Good Love, How Will I Know, Saving All My Love, and the remake of The Greatest Love of All. She won a Grammy Award and an American Music Award for Best New Artist. She was keep churning out hits including I Wanna Dance with Somebody and Where Do Broken Hearts Go? Other hits including I'm Your Baby Tonight, and she did the remake of Dolly Parton's I'll Always Love You. And speaking of that, she made her acting debut in the movie The Bodyguard and other movies including Waiting to Exhale, and she did the remake of The Bishop's Wife, which is called The Preacher's Wife, which starred Denzel Washington. And on television, she made guest appearances on NBC's Silver Spoons, and she did some skits on NBC Saturday Night Live with the Christmas skit back in 1996 with the guests Rosie O'Donnell and the late Penny Marshall. So we're going to put Whitney Houston at number 3, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the class of 2020. All right, we're up to number 2.
Number 2, Beyonce.
Representing Houston, Texas, Beyonce came on the scene back in 1988 with the group called Destiny's Child. Started off with hits including No, 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 Wanna Say Yeah, 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 Yeah. And also some of the other hits including Bills, 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 and Say My Name. And then
I love
by
Say My Name.
2000, oh, you do?
I do.
Okay.
Love it.
And then went solo 2003, So Crazy in Love,
Crazy in
Me,
Love. Yes,
Myself, and
my
I.
favorite. That's my favorite.
Oh, okay. And then some other songs, did duets with Jay-Z, with Deja Vu, and Drunken Love. When I first heard that song, it was like, uh-oh, Beyonce's getting raunchy. And yeah, she had, done everything. Acting, she was in the movie The Fighting Temptations, and she did perform at the Super Bowl. I
Yes.
think it was 2013 or 2014, from the LP called Lemonade. She performed that. That was right before that power surge went out in New
Mm.
Orleans, Louisiana. So one of the songs that she did was called Daddy Lessons. That's a country song, and she performed it with the Dixie Chicks, which is now called the Chicks.
Mm.
I don't know if she performed it on the American Music Awards or the CMA Awards, but she was given an opportunity to teach us of how country music was made by us black folks. So when her country album came out, Cowboy Carter, which includes the song Texas Hold'em, her album was at number 1 on Billboard's Top 200 Albums charts, number 1 on Billboard's Country Albums charts. She has won 3 Grammy Awards this year for Best Album, Best Country Song, and Best Duet. So when I first heard the song Texas Hold'em, when I did a gig for the seniors back in December, they want to hear some line dances. They do not want to hear the electric slide or the Cupid shuffle or the Casper slide. They want to hear that Beyonce Texas Hold'em line dance. So when I had that song for the seniors, they said, okay, let's play that song. So they was doing some of those new dances. I was like, oh, okay. So that's something new, some country line dancing. So
Yeah.
we'll put Beyonce at number 2, American Music Award winner, Grammy Award winner, and doing everything. All right, who should be at number 1?
Michael Jackson.
The king of pop, Michael Jackson, came on the scene back in 1969 with his brothers, the Jackson 5. They debuted song I Want You Back. Other hits followed, including The Love You Saved, ABC, Who's
ABC.
Loving You, Never Can Say Goodbye, Dancing Machine, just to name a few. Michael did a couple of solo albums when he was on Motown back then, including Got to Be There, the theme from the movie Ben, Just a Little Bit of You. And when the brothers have left Motown, switched over to CBS Records, and Jermaine was still at Motown. They had to bring Randy along. They reinvented themselves as the Jacksons. They had their songs including Enjoy Yourself, Showed Me the Way to Go, and they had their summer variety series on CBS back in 1976. So they brought their sisters along, Janet, Rebe, and Latoya, and they had biggest top 10 hits, including Shake Your Body Down to the Ground, Heartbreak Hotel, and then Michael had four solo LPs. The first three with Quincy Jones, including Off the Wall, with hits including Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, Off the Wall, and She's Out of My Life. He won an American Music Award for Best Pop Single, Best Soul Single, and his second LP, Thriller, Non-Stop. Hits including You Wanna Be Starving Something, and Thriller, Billie Jean, PYT, and those are the biggest hits ever. And let me tell you, when I was watching the American Music Awards on Monday, January 16th, 1984, it was Michael's night. He had all the awards. Pop rock single, soul R&B single, best music video, and yes, he won an American Music Award. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with his brothers in 1997 and on solo in 2001. He did a little acting here and there in the movie version of The Wiz with Diana Ross and Nipsey Russell and Lena Horne and Richard Pryor. And yes, the Jackson 5 had their own cartoon series on ABC Saturday morning, had a couple of specials on ABC and some on CBS. So Michael had swept all of the hits non-stop, and he's known for his music videos, including Thriller, 15-minute music video, and Vincent Price did the narrating at the end of the song. And also another music video, Bad, which had actor Wesley Snipes in the music video. Martin Scorsese directed the music video in the bedside section in Brooklyn, New York. Another music video, Black or White, from his LP Dangerous. Cameo appearances by Macaulay Culkin and George Wendt of Cheers. 15 minutes. I saw that music video on Fox the first time. So then during that he had some scenes, the crotch scene, which, was too, appropriate, but they had to tone it down when it got to MTV. And I got a chance to see that on Fox. And another video, Remember the Time, that had cameo by Eddie Murphy, Iman, and Magic Johnson. His last appearance was This Is It. That was the concert movie that he was promoting until he passed away in June of 2009. So when I was at the club, when I heard the news, everybody was in shock. So we have Michael Jackson had all the hits, number one hits, American Music Award winner, Grammy winner, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee. He did it all. And yes, he co-wrote the song We Are the World with Lionel Richie, number one on Billboard's Hot 100 Pop Singles charts and on the R&B Black Singles charts. So, rest in peace to the king of pop, Mr. Michael Jackson.
I wish I could see him live. Like, I feel like that would be. I feel like he's so unique. Like, nobody else is like him. So it would be like cool if I get to see him live.
Yes.
I just
And in
love
case you may not know, he was influenced by James Brown. So Michael Jackson had others. He paved the way for others, including Justin Timberlake, Chris Brown, and Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, just to name a few. They were all influenced. And Usher, too. They were influenced by Michael Jackson, just like Michael Jackson was influenced by James Brown. So, rest in peace to MJ, the king of pop.
There's a song in Lady Gaga's new album, and that song sounds so much like Michael Jackson. I think it's called. Uh, let me. I think it's in. Let me look for it real quick. Um, it's called Shadow of a Man.
Ah, Shadow of a Man. Okay.
If
I'm
you
gonna look
haven't
that
heard
up.
it, yeah, it sounds just like Michael Jackson. Not like her voice, but like the style of music. It reminds me of Michael Jackson. It's so good.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up on iTunes and check out the video on
Yeah.
YouTube. Well, Ann, thank you so much for being here on the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. It's been a pleasure talking with you, to you, DJ and DJ. Thank you so much for being here, and congratulations on your graduation. Continued success on your career endeavors, and please come on back. I always love to follow up on those who I've interviewed. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Thank you for having me.
Now, before we go, where can we follow you for any upcoming events? Where can we follow you on social media?
My Instagram tag is ANN dot underscore YAO dot underscore. So it's ANN dot underscore YAO dot underscore. And my Spotify, like it should all be on my Instagram, but my artist name is my full name, and Yao, one word and all capitalized, ANNYAO. So that's where you can find me on Spotify and Apple Music. I only have one song out, but there's one coming at the end of the month. And I will be releasing more because I've been procrastinating on that. Like it's just so hard because I'm like, oh, I can do better. I can do better. So I just like never release anything. But it's about time.
Okay, thank you so much. Download all the artists that we have talked about on this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. Visit iTunes.com, Spotify.com, or purchase a CD at Amazon.com. Make sure you follow Ann Yao. Her last name is YAO. Follow her on Instagram at Anna._Yao_. And make sure you look for her music on Spotify and Apple Music. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check out this episode, please subscribe by going to the link. The link is riverside.fm/studio/Samuel-Wilson Jr.'s. Don't forget to add the S at the end, -studio. And I will be posting this episode on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And if you have a hard time getting on to Riverside, then please become a member and subscribe to patreon.com/the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. Just go to the Patreon homepage, type in the Black Soul Music Experience podcast, and check out all of the audio podcast episodes you may have missed, as well as the audio and video podcast clips you may have missed. And if you have a hard time getting on to Patreon, then I will be posting this episode on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and go to the homepage, type in the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. Check out this episode. If you like this episode, please subscribe, give me some support, give me a thumbs up, and please pass it on. Thank you for joining me as I close out this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience.
Well, that's about it for this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. I'm Sam Wilson Jr. Thank you for joining me, and please tune in next week for an all-new episode. The Black Soul Music Experience podcast is sponsored by the support of listeners like you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe by going to riverside.fm/studio/Samuel-Wilson Jr.'s -studio. And don't forget to check out my audio podcast episodes by becoming a member and subscribe to patreon.com/the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. And also check out my video podcast episodes by subscribing to youtube.com/the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. And please leave your comments, feedbacks, and replies by going to my Facebook homepage, Visit facebook.com/the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. And you can also tweet me on X, aka Twitter, at Sam Wilson Jr. 66. As always, parting, remember this: reach for the top and your dreams will come true, and it can happen to you. From all of us, take care, God bless. Thanks for listening. Have a good week, and please be safe.